No Grexit from Euro, EU's Moscovici vows. Greece belongs in the Eurozone and the single currency depends on there being no Grexit, the EU Economic and Financial Affairs Commissioner says. Pierre Moscovici told the BBC's Hardtalk we will do everything to prevent Greece leaving the Eurozone. But he said the Greek government had to respect previous commitments. The new finance minister has meanwhile said he will not negotiate bailout terms with the troika, the global institutions overseeing Greek debt. The left-wing Syriza party won last weekend's election on an anti-austerity platform, promising to have half of Greece's debt written off, and to roll back on deep cuts to jobs, pay, and pensions. We believe that the place of Greece is in the Eurozone, the Euro needs Greece and that Greece needs and wants to be in the Eurozone, Mr. Moscovici, a former French finance minister, said. European Commissioner for Economic Affairs, Pierre Moscovici. Mr. Moscovici says the place of Greece is in the Eurozone. He added, "We feel that it's very important for the stability of the Eurozone and for the credibility of the Euro that there is no Grexit. This is why we will do everything that is needed to avoid it." But the Commissioner said that while Europe had to respect the will of the Greek people, following last Sunday's election that swept Syriza to power, the commitments made by the previous Greek government also had to be taken into account. We must address these issues in a quiet, peaceful, and serene way. This new government has to say exactly what it intends to do, Mr. Moscovici said. After meeting with the head of Eurozone group of finance ministers, the new Greek finance minister said he would not work with the Troika, the European Commission, European Central Bank and International Monetary Fund, calling them a committee built on rotten foundations. Jump media player. Media player help. Out of media player. Press enter to return or tap to continue. Greek Finance Minister Yanis Varoufakis, we are not prepared to carry on pretending and trying to enforce an unenforceable program. Line. Greek economy in numbers. Average wage is €600, £450, $690 a month. Unemployment is at 25%, with youth unemployment almost 50%. Economy has shrunk by 25% since the start of the Eurozone crisis. Country's debt is 175% of GDP. Borrowed Euro 240 BN, pound 188 BN, from the EU, the ECB, and the IMF. Line. Yanis Varoufakis said he was instead seeking fruitful negotiations with individual Troika members and EU nations. We are not prepared to carry on pretending and extending, trying to enforce an unenforceable program which for 5 years now has steadfastly refused to produce any tangible benefits, he told the BBC's Newsnight program. The disease that we're facing in Greece at the moment is that a problem of insolvency for 5 years has been dealt with as a problem of liquidity. Commission of the Last Chance. The head of the Eurogroup, Jeroen Dijsselbloem, said that Greece should stick to its reform commitments. Mr. Dijsselbloem said Greece and the Eurogroup had a mutual interest in the further recovery of the Greek economy inside the Eurozone and warned against Athens acting unilaterally in its efforts to renegotiate its bailout. A Syriza election rally in Greece. Syriza won the Greek elections pledging to have half of Greece's debt written off. Greece has endured tough budget cuts in return for its Euro 240 BN, pound 179 BN, $270 BN, bailout, agreed in 2010 with the Troika. The current program of loans ends on February 28. There are still Euro 1.8 BN of funds that could be disbursed to Greece if it meets the Troika's conditions. Mr. Moscovici also said the rise of anti-EU parties across Europe posed a threat to the Union. If Europe doesn't deliver on growth and jobs, if Europe is seen as the place for austerity, if Europe is not seen as a hope, as progress but as a constraint, as a punishment, as a pain, then the European project will be not only criticized but rejected. This is why this commission calls itself the Commission of the Last Chance. The full interview with Mr. Moscovici can be seen on BBC World News on Monday, February 2 at 0430-0930-1630 and 21:30 GMT.